There was once a great sadhu who had a disciple, and the sadhu decided to send his disciple to the court of King Janak to learn how to meditate. The disciple did not want to go. He thought to himself that he is a monk who has renounced the world. What could a worldly king possibly teach him? But since the sadhu had told him to go, he obeyed their hukam, and when he reached the court of the king, he saw that King Janak lived a lifestyle that was very luxurious. Inwardly, the disciple, the monk, was disgusted, and a great condemnation arose within him. Although he bowed before the king saw his mental state, and he told the monk that you can return to your sadhu, to the great saint who sent you the next day, but please spend the night over here. And King Janak made sure that each and every one of the monk's needs were taken care of. After he was fed, at night, King Janak escorted the monk to his bedroom where he was to spend the entire night. And as expected, the bedroom is very, very comfortable. The monk got into bed and tried to sleep. And as he did so, he looked up towards the ceiling, and there he saw a sword hanging above him that was suspended from above by a very thin thread, such that the lightest breeze and the sword could fall and kill the monk. In this way, the monk spent the entire night in a state of fear and extreme alertness, since he knew that if he stopped being watchful for even a moment, he might lose his life. The next morning, King Janak asked the monk if he'd spent a comfortable night. The monk looked at him and he said, "Why did you make me sleep under a naked sword?" He told King Janak that he hadn't slept the whole night, despite being very tired from his journey. And King Janak looked at the monk and he said that this was exactly the lesson he wanted to teach him on how to meditate. The monk had to be alert and aware the whole night, for it was a matter of life and death to him. This was the teaching of King Janak. King Janak went on to say that despite living in luxury, he remained aware of the sword hanging over his own head. Although the sword was invisible, it was very real. It was his own impending death. Since King Janak kept the awareness of death in his mind, he was able to stay detached from his luxurious lifestyle, for he knew that it could end at any moment, that in fact it would inevitably end one day. In this manner, he lived in the palace and yet was a hermit. And this is exactly the attitude to be brought when we are learning how to meditate. You can remain unaware if you think you will live forever, but how can you be unaware when you know that life can end at any moment? You'll constantly be aware.